And this lovely bobblehead.
Oh, no, look at that. That's awesome. It's so cute. I'm just right there, yeah. Pull it.
Hold there. Okay, thank you.
This is way too weird. This is, if you guys expected this to be memorable for me, you really created something that that absolutely is. I'm actually, when I got the word that I had received this award, that you were going to give me this award, my first thought was, why? I mean, I'm not a corporate communicator. This is the International Association of Business Communicators, and I'm not really a corporate communicator. I don't know. I'm sure your membership probably encompasses a lot of PR people, internal and external. But most of your members, my understanding, are internal communicators. So I was a little surprised to get it. I'm a crisis communicator, and I always think of myself as being, doing something that's much different from what PR people do, whether they're internal or external. I always describe public relations as folks who are involved in bringing more attention to what you're doing. You all help your businesses, the organizations you work for, sell more widgets or sell more services. You bring more attention to things, all right? But if you're in the middle of a crisis or something bad, more attention is usually the last thing that you want. You want the exact opposite, and that's pretty much what we do in our business, the crisis communications business. We always tell people, it's our job to make your story better. It's our job to make your story shorter. It's our job to make your story go away. The best stories are the ones I can't tell you because we made those stories go away. I was thinking about what I could talk about, for just a couple of minutes after getting this award. Of course, Congressman, Weiner was the first thing I thought of. It's on everybody's mind, or at least one of their heads. I'm thinking, I don't know what it is. And I thought, you know what? I don't want to talk about Congressman Weiner. All right, it's already passé. It's already everybody's talking about it. I want to go back a couple of years. I want to talk about Tiger Woods. I mean, if you're really looking for a business story about crisis communications, it starts with Tiger Woods. When Tiger Woods, when that situation happened a couple of years ago, I got a number of phone calls from the local Cleveland media, from some national media, asking my opinion. They wanted to know, what did the crisis communications guy think of Tiger Woods? And the first thing I started saying in the first first couple of news cycles, I said, well, my advice to Tiger Woods, call David Letterman. If you remember, it was just 2 weeks earlier that David Letterman had come on television to say, I'm a bad man. I did something terrible. And he talked about this affair he had been having with one of his staffers, and he talked about the fact that he was being extorted by somebody else. And as it turned out, he was 100% right. I mean, the guy ended up going to jail. David Letterman did exactly what we tell our clients to do. Tell the truth, tell it all, and tell it first. He determined what the story was going to be about. I mean, he didn't want to be the villain. He wanted to be the vindicator in this particular situation. He grabbed his own narrative from minute one. And what did people talk about the next day? Did anybody in your office talk about whether or not David Letterman was running a hostile workplace? Did anybody talk about the fact that maybe you need to sleep with David Letterman before you get ahead where he works in his office? Nobody talked about that. Everybody talked about the fact that David Letterman was being extorted by somebody trying to do harm to him. All right, and like I said, he was 100% right. David Letterman decided what the story would be. So I was telling everybody with Tiger Woods, Tiger, just call David Letterman. But there was a little problem. All right, a day later, 2 days later, we found out about a mistress. Tiger had one mistress, and then 2 mistresses, and then 3 and 4 and 5, and then 6 and 7. What did we get up to? I think 11 mistresses. And it's kind of hard to tell a guy, gee, tell the truth, tell it all, and tell it first, when he has 11 mistresses. What kind of advice do we give him? Because we tell all of our clients to tell the truth, to tell it all, and tell it first. So I sat back, I started thinking, what's really the message here? Especially for business communicators. So, and the message here about Tiger Woods is not what advice I could have given Tiger Woods. I got to tell you, when you have 11 mistresses, there's nothing I can do for you. Go hire somebody else. I can't get you out of a jam. I really can't. You can't. So I think it was Don Etling from one of the large manufacturing companies who said, you can't spin your way out of bad behavior. Let me repeat that. You can't spin your way out of bad behavior. So I was trying to think, like I said, what's the message for Tiger Woods? what can we learn from that? And I realized what it was all about. Think about this. Tiger Woods came on the scene about, what, 15, 18 years ago as a young man. All right, and right from day one, all right, Tiger talked about doing things the right way, and the advertisers flocked to him, all right, and threw advertising and sponsorship dollars at him, all right, up to what, $1 billion worth of sponsorship dollars, all right, and they created these ad campaigns about Tiger Woods makes the right decision in the clutch. Tiger Woods, family man. Tiger Woods knows what to do when the going gets tough. All right? And what did we find out? We found out after that situation with the car accident, his wife with the golf club, we found out that not a word of it was true. In other words, his whole persona, his whole image, everything that the advertisers and the people at home bought him, not knocking the sportsmanship, but everything other than the pure sportsmanship was all bullshit. And I think the story for communicators, for business communicators in particular, is that Tiger Woods is really an example. The worst kind of public relations you can have. And that's when you're working for a company or for a brand where the entire foundation is built on bullshit. Because when the going gets tough, there's nobody to stand next to you. And that's what happened to BP when they had the explosion in the Gulf of Mexico. All right, BP. What does BP stand for? It's not British Petroleum. It's Beyond Petroleum. They had crafted this whole image that they're the green company. All right. All right. Anybody here know what percentage of renewable resources BP's revenues come from? Anybody know what percentage? Anybody want to guess?
Less than 1%?
Correct. Rita, you're 100% right. Less than 1%. So when the going got tough last year in the Gulf of Mexico, they had nobody green standing next to them because they built a brand on bullshit. That's my message for you. Take it back to your office. We always tell our clients, like I said before, tell the truth, tell it all, tell it first. Right? With emphasis on tell the truth. Ever are told by your boss not to tell the truth, you need to go find another job. As harsh as that is, you really do, because the truth always comes out. Mr. Weiner, when he thought about that for a couple of seconds, would not have done what he did. People who do what I do, we knew from the minute he opened his mouth that he was lying. It wasn't that he couldn't tell the truth, it was that he didn't want to tell the truth. Think about this. Had he told the truth, it would have been bad. It would have been terrible. But it wouldn't have been nearly as bad as the situation he finds himself now that he tried to lie and he tried to steal. So I'm going to leave you with that. I want to say thank you to the IABC. I cannot tell you how flattered I was to find out that I had won this award. It really means a lot to me. I guess this is what you get when you get the gray hair and you've been around long enough. All right, so for those of you who want awards, I guess just stick it out long enough. You'll get them. But thank you very much.